Realme continues to bombard the Indian market and has just launched 3 new phones in its Narzo series. Now these models promise to prioritize battery life and processing power. We have the middle of the 3 models today with us, the Narzo 20, and we're going to unbox it right now. Of course, before we go ahead, please do remember to subscribe to the Gadgets 360 YouTube channel and do hit the bell icon so you know whenever we post a new video. So here's the box that the Narzo 20 comes in, and if you've seen any previous Narzo or any other recent Realme phone, this yellow will be quite familiar. So we've got the name of the device and a few highlights. Let's check these out. Obviously the 6000 mAh battery is a huge selling point, as is the MediaTek Helio G85 processor. We've also got 3 cameras. The primary one is a 48 megapixel camera, and 18 watt quick charging is supported with a Type-C port. We have this phone in Victory Blue, and we can also tell that there's 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage on this particular variant. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and take off the shrink wrap. So now we can see this paper folder on the top, and there's really nothing much other than some basic information in here. There isn't a plastic cover or case that comes with this phone. We do also have the SIM eject pin, and here we have the phone itself. So that's in another plastic protective bag. We can pull it out and see that this color is actually quite demure. It's not exactly dull, but it isn't very bright and saturated. So there's a V-shaped pattern with a very slight texture that you can feel if you run your finger over it. And it doesn't look like this finish will pick up a lot of fingerprints or smudges. So you can see the squarish camera module and the fingerprint sensor at the back, along with a small Narzo logo. So on the left hand side we have the SIM tray. There's nothing much on the top. Power and volume buttons are on the right. And as usual on the bottom we have a 3.5mm audio socket, a microphone, a USB Type-C port and a speaker. Let's quickly pop open the SIM tray. And we can see that there are 3 slots, so you can use 2 nano SIMs and a micro SD card. On the front we have a 6.5-inch screen with a water drop notch for the front camera. Let's put this aside and check out the rest of the box contents before we go ahead. So there really isn't much to see. We've got a USB Type-C cable and the usual bulky charger, which is rated for 18 watts maximum output. There we have it, the box contents of the Realme Narzo 20. And quickly go through the phone setup process. So there we have it, the phone's ready to use. You can see the Realme UI here, which looks quite a bit like stock Android. We've only just taken it out of the box and we can see that it's running Android 10 with the August security patch, which is not bad at all. And things seem fairly smooth right now. Of course, we'll have a full review coming right up. So now let's talk a little bit about the specifications of this phone. Of course, you have that MediaTek Helio G85 processor, which Realme says is good for gaming as well as general use and should be powerful for the segment that this phone is sold in. There's 4 GB of RAM and you can choose between 64 and 128 GB of storage. Thanks to the dedicated micro SD card slot, you can increase the storage by another 256 GB. So this phone is fairly thick at 9.8mm and also quite heavy at 208 grams. So that means this phone is a bit thicker and heavier than average, though it shouldn't be too much of a problem in day-to-day use, and of course the trade-off is that 6000 mAh battery. The screen measures 6.5 inches diagonally and the resolution here is just HD+, which is 720 by 1600 pixels. Depending on your budget, you might be willing to trade that off for the battery and the processor power. Now let's talk about the cameras. There are 3 cameras on the rear. The primary one is a 48 megapixel camera, and then in addition to that you get an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera and a 2 megapixel macro camera. It's interesting that Realme has gone with 3 cameras and not 4 in this segment. The 4th dot that you see over there is the flash, and there's no dedicated depth sensor. So we'll see what that means for photography when we review this phone. Other interesting specifications include dual band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5. So that was our unboxing and quick look at the new Narzo 20. Thanks for watching, and do stay tuned to Gadgets 360 because our full review is coming up soon and we're going to get into this phone's processing power, cameras, battery life and much more. Thanks for watching.